10 years ago, when I was working on my PhD, I had gotten involved in a rotten relationship, and I fell behind in school, and I had lost most of my life savings, and that kind of forced me out of the relationship. And I discovered how fun single life can be. Uh, I had another experience like that a few years ago, not because of the girl taking advantage of me, but she had other goals in life than myself. She wanted to have children soon, and she wanted quite a number of children from the tone of her discussions about it. And so I took some time away from her, and once again I discovered how fun single life could be. It was around that time that I really started aggressively competing at the Computer Olympiad, and I started to go to the dark skies in Ellensburg to view the night sky. This year, Jupiter and Saturn are going to come into conjunction. So I'm recording this on April 14, 2020. I'm really optimistic because as I speak, a lot of Americans are going to be away from what they thought was their significant other, right? And they're going to realize that life can be fun with or without them, right? I'm not going to necessarily be negative, but I think some people are going to realize that they weren't a good match. They were just kind of going along with the beat of the music. That's a problem I have in some of my relationships. I feel like I've already invested a lot of time, a lot of money, effort, ego, sacrificing other friends or family to be with whoever. And it's just hard to jump out of that loop. But when you're forced to do it and you're away from them for some time, it makes you see the other side of the mountain, if you will. That could be a big one. And I'm kind of optimistic that 2 years later, 3 years later, we're going to look back and find that we might even find divorce rates will be a little bit lower in the coming years because of this great purge, if you will, of unhealthy relationships. I'm kind of optimistic that's going to happen. I know it's happened for me in the past, not because of a nationwide quarantine, but because of a personal quarantine. I fell behind in my school and had to lock up in my office to work on it. I lost most of my life savings, so I felt very depleted about the girl only wanting to talk about having babies. Things like that have caused me to clean up my relationship life. The way I like to see it, if a relationship can survive 3-4 weeks of social distancing, it's probably a lot more meant to be than a relationship that has never been tested to that extent. So I'm very optimistic about that regard.